We are positioned on the Items tab and at our Assault case file, where we're going to move both of our items to court with Officer Mike Judd. The first thing we do is tag both of our items by double-clicking or using the space bar. The green check marks indicate that both our items have been tagged. We then bring up the Chain of Custody screen. This screen indicates that we currently have 2 movements or signatures logged for this file. We can also see that we have 2 items tagged for this next movement. To log our new movement for these 2 tagged items, we use the Movement button, which brings up the Movement screen. This screen displays our 2 tagged items and their current locations. We would like to move them to court with Officer Judd. We choose our new location from the drop-down list, which is court. Officer Mike Judd is taking these items to court, so we choose his name from the drop-down list. We will retain the current date and time of the movement and save our information. The Chain of Custody screen now shows our new movement, which was number 3. Let's preview our Chain of Custody report for this case file. The report shows a total of 3 movements or signatures for this case file. Our new movement has our 2 items moving from Aisle 3, Shelf A to court. Our chain of custody for this file started right at the crime scene at movement number 1, where the knife was seized from the bedroom floor. We'll close the report and return to our Items tab screen. The new location for our items is reflected in this screen. That's all there is to recording a new movement. The next thing we'll look at is the disposal of an item. Disposing of an item is much the same as moving an item to a new location. For this example, we'll navigate to case file number 00-0002278. There's one item for this case file. We'll go over to the Items tab to see the details. The item we'll dispose of course, will be the .22 caliber rifle. The first thing to do is to bring up the Chain of Custody screen. We see our initial movement of the rifle from temporary locker number 2 to the rifle rack number 3. Now we'll dispose of this rifle. Use the Disposal button to bring up the disposal screen. All we have to do is define the type of disposal. We'll destroy the rifle, so we pick that from the drop-down list. Now we can save our disposal record. We're back to the Chain of Custody screen, and our new record has been created. The Chain of Custody report shows both the first movement or signature and our new disposal record, where the rifle has been taken from rifle rack number 3 and destroyed. We will close the screen and return to our Items tab. The status of the rifle now shows that it has been destroyed. The next thing we'll do is have a look at the diary dating of items. Diary dating items for disposal is a very useful tool in Evidence Manager. Here at the Case Files tab, we have navigated to file number 00-0002254 so we can diary date an item. We'll go over to the Items tab to view the details of the item. The item is a case of Coors beer and the diary date has not yet been set. To set the diary date, we can use the Edit button on the toolbar to bring up the Edit screen. There are several ways in which we can set the diary date. We could just type in a valid date, or we can pick a date from the drop-down calendar. We can also choose one of the available buttons to diary date the item for a specified period of time from today's date, such as the 30-day button. Another useful method is to bring up the diary date table. Diary date events can be defined in Evidence Manager using this table. We have an event already defined which has been given the name July Liquor Disposal, which will take place on July the 10th, 2001. That is the date we'll use for our Coors beer item, so simply use the OK button. Our date has been inserted, and we can now save our changes and head back to the Items tab. We note that the diary date is now set for our item. The next thing we'll do is head over to the Searching tab and produce a listing of all the items diary dated for our July liquor disposal. Here on our Searching tab, we're going to conduct a search for all of our items diary dated for our July liquor disposal. We set the search for the One Diary Date option. Now we choose our July liquor disposal from the drop-down list of our diary dates table. The search criteria are set, so we'll click on the search button. Our results are displayed in an instant, and we can see that we currently have 2 items diary dated for our July liquor disposal. The second item on the list is the Coors beer that we just diary dated. We can also scroll the table over to the right to see the locations where we can find our items. That's all there is to retrieving a list of diary dated items. That concludes this portion of the Evidence Manager tour, so we'll navigate back